Dive into the profound world of Marcus Aurelius, an ancient Roman emperor and philosopher. His wisdom has echoed through the ages, shaping the foundations of Stoic philosophy. Known not just for his reign but for his profound insights into human nature, Marcus Aurelius has left an indelible mark on philosophy. One of his most compelling thoughts reads as follows: "Your mind and how it responds to situations are the only things you have any control over. You have zero control over the circumstances that come your way in life." This quote, potent and thought-provoking, encapsulates the essence of Stoicism. It nudges us toward introspection, to examine our reactions and responses in the face of adversity. It compels us to acknowledge the inherent unpredictability of life, while asserting control over that which is truly in our domain, our minds. Let's unpack this powerful quote and understand what it truly means. Consider the first half of the quote. Your mind and how it responds to situations are the only things you have any control over. This statement, profound in its simplicity, underscores the essence of Stoic philosophy: control. But what does it mean to have control over one's mind? To the Stoics, control is not about suppressing emotions or stifling thoughts. Rather, it's about understanding that our mind is our own domain, a fortress impervious to external influence unless we allow it entry. It is within this fortress that we have the power to shape our perceptions, to color our thoughts, and to dictate our emotional responses to the world around us. Imagine a raging storm outside your fortress. You can't control the storm, the lightning, the thunder, the torrential downpour, but inside your fortress, you have complete control. You can choose to fear the storm or to see it as a natural display of raw power and beauty. This choice, this response, lies solely in your hands. This Stoic belief in the power of the mind is not a denial of emotions. On the contrary, it acknowledges that emotions are natural human responses, but it also emphasizes that we have the ability to manage these emotions, to channel them in constructive ways, to use them as tools for understanding ourselves and the world around us. Yet, it's important to note that having control doesn't mean we'll always get it right. We're humans after all, not infallible beings. There will be times when we react in ways we later regret, but that's where the beauty of control comes in. We have the ability to reflect, to learn, and to grow from these experiences. How we respond to situations then becomes a testament to our character and strength. Our reactions reflect our values, our beliefs, and our understanding of the world. They shape our character and in turn, our destiny. And it all starts with the realization that we have control over our minds, over our thoughts, and over our responses. Now, let's examine the second part. You have zero control over the circumstances that come your way in life. This statement is a fundamental tenet of Stoicism, a philosophy that thrived in the ancient Greco-Roman world. Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius himself, advocate for an acceptance of external circumstances as they are, without resentment or resistance. Imagine life as a rushing river, unpredictable and full of surprises. You can't change the course of the river, the speed of its flow, or the debris it carries. These are circumstances beyond your control, but what you can control is how you navigate through it. You can choose to struggle against the current, wasting energy and causing yourself unnecessary stress. Or you can choose to go with the flow, accepting the river for what it is and focusing on steering your own vessel. This acceptance isn't about passivity or resignation, but about understanding the nature of reality and aligning ourselves accordingly. It's about focusing on the areas where we do have agency and letting go of the rest. This view encourages resilience because it equips us with a sense of perspective. When we face adversities, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we can ask, "How can I respond in a way that's within my control?" Acceptance also cultivates peace of mind. By acknowledging that we can't control everything, we free ourselves from the burden of trying to manipulate the world around us. We also become more adaptable, better able to respond to life's challenges with equanimity and wisdom. This doesn't mean we don't strive for change or improvement. On the contrary, by focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, attitudes, and actions, we can enact meaningful change, both in ourselves and in the world. But the starting point is always acceptance. As Aurelius reminds us, we can't control the circumstances that come our way in life. What we can control is how we respond to them. This acceptance of reality as it is forms a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. The two halves of the quote are not separate but intricately connected. Just as the threads of a tapestry are woven together to create a complete picture, The two halves of Marcus Aurelius's quote intertwine to form an insightful understanding of life. Let's take a closer look at this interplay. The first half of the quote points to the power of the mind, the control we have over our thoughts, emotions, and reactions. This is the realm of our personal sovereignty, where we are the absolute rulers. But it's not an isolated domain, it's deeply connected to the second half of the quote, which speaks of the uncontrollable circumstances that life throws our way. How so, you might ask? Well, it's in the face of these uncontrollable circumstances that our control over our mind is truly tested and revealed. When life gives us lemons, do we crumble under the sourness or do we make lemonade? The choice is ours. And it's this choice, this response that shows the strength of our mind. It's like a dance, really. Life leads with its unpredictable steps and we follow, responding with our own moves. Sometimes life steps on our toes and it hurts, but we have control over how we react. Do we let the pain consume us, or do we acknowledge it, accept it, and keep dancing? This interaction between our mind and life circumstances is a testament to the power of acceptance. Acceptance here doesn't mean resignation or passivity. Instead, it's about acknowledging the reality of the situation, understanding what's within our control and what's not, and choosing to focus our energy and efforts on the former. It's this acceptance that brings us peace, even in the midst of chaos. It allows us to stay centered, to maintain our balance, even when the ground beneath us is shaking. And so, the wisdom of Aurelius encourages us to focus on what we can control and accept what we cannot. This is the dance of life as choreographed by the Stoic philosophy. Will you join in? In our modern world, Aurelius's wisdom is more relevant than ever. Consider this: we exist in an age of information overload. News, social media, the constant chime of notifications, these are our circumstances, many of which we cannot control. Yet we can control how we react to them. Do we let every tweet or news headline steal our peace, or do we choose to respond with measured thoughtfulness? Picture the everyday situations we face. The traffic jam on your way to work, the sudden downpour when you've forgotten your umbrella, the negative comments on your social media post. These are circumstances beyond your control. But how you respond to them, that's entirely within your power. Do you let the traffic jam ruin your day, or do you use it as an opportunity to listen to that podcast you've been meaning to catch up on? Do you curse the rain, or do you see it as a refreshing change in weather? Do you take the negative comments to heart, or do you see them as an opportunity for dialogue and growth? What about in our personal relationships? We can't control how others act or what they say, but we can control our reactions to them. If a friend cancels plans at the last minute, do we let frustration take over, or do we use the freed up time to do something we love? In our professional lives too, Aurelius's wisdom rings true. You may not be able to control market trends or company policies, but you can control how you adapt and respond to these changes. Do you see a challenging work situation as an insurmountable problem or as an opportunity to learn and grow? By focusing on our reactions rather than our circumstances, we can foster personal growth and peace. We can navigate through life's storms, not by trying to control the wind and the waves, but by learning to sail our ship. Aurelius's philosophy, then, serves as a guide for navigating the turmoil of life with grace. To summarize, Marcus Aurelius teaches us a profound lesson about control and acceptance. The wisdom of this great philosopher-king reminds us that our minds, our reactions, and our attitudes are the only things we truly have control over. The world around us, the circumstances that unfold, are beyond our grasp. This reality, while daunting, is not a call to despair. Instead, it's an invitation to focus our energy on what we can influence, our perceptions, our responses, and our resilience. The interplay between control and acceptance is at the heart of Aurelius's teachings. It's not about resigning to fate, but engaging with life from a place of thoughtfulness and calm. It's about understanding that while we cannot command the winds, we can adjust our sails. Remember, it's not the circumstances that define us, but how we react to them. That is the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius. Please like and subscribe to our channel. We welcome all comments as well.